Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome to Snyder Inc. Wrestling, and we doing another one, and this one is, we did the worst, so we gotta do the greatest. This is the 10 greatest WWE Championship matches of all time. And we will get right into this. First of all, I need y'all to hit the subscribe button, help us grow this channel, because we want to grow it, we gotta grow it. We can only do it if you hit that subscribe button. Need y'all to hit the like button. Helps me in my old algorithm. You hear? There's a reason all of them complain about it. And I need y'all to comment what your favorite WWE Championship match of all time is. Let's get in this. You guys ready? Of course you're ready. Let's go.
Last week we all got very cross. Alright, I got very cross, but I'm more important than you. About terrible WWE Championship matches. Well, it simply won't do to be cross all the time, and we could, because life is an endless snake eating your children. Sometimes you have to sprinkle some enforced optimism into your wrestling discourse, and that's why I'm here. WWE intermittently treats the WWE Championship like a big deal, depending on whose waist it's around, which is very strange. You think they would make more big stars? They're committed to main eventing it with every show, raising wrestlers' importance up to match the belt rather than lowering the belt's importance to match the champion. But hey ho, I don't run a wrestling company. I never have, to be clear. I didn't run WCPW. Right now the title is a big deal, so let's run through its true glory days. It's time to be happy. I can be happy sometimes. I'm Adam, hailing from parts unknown, and here are our 10 greatest WWE Championship matches of all time. Alright, stop me if you've heard this one before. It's a late night, Netflix hasn't got anything you fancy. You've already watched Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and even NXT Level Up, as well as everything AEW has to offer this week. Heck, you've even gone and downloaded Impact Plus because you need to binge all the King of the Mountain matches. If only there was a way to break out the confines of your region's streaming services and instead experience something new. If this sounds like you, then we've got the solution to your woes, and its name is Surfshark VPN, the sponsor for today's video. Surfshark VPN is an online tool that allows you to search the web without the constant fear of someone repo manning your personal data right from under your nose. With Surfshark VPN, you can seamlessly encrypt your online data, allowing you to safely and securely do your online banking while connected to a potentially insecure public Wi-Fi. Surfshark also keeps your browser history and location locked away from websites who might want to use your data. Not only that, but you can also share potentially sensitive files without the worry of them being compromised or stolen against your will. And of course, Surfshark VPN also allows you to connect to 3,200 servers in over 100 countries.
That's a lot of countries, and that's a lot of service. Damn, Surfshark.
Across the world that you could only dream of visiting in real life. So no more bored Sunday nights. Instead, just sit back and relax, enjoy all the Hulu Plus and HBO Max you want to, safely from the comfort of your own home. If all of that sounds good to you, then take a look in the description box below to find an exclusive link just for you, or alternatively visit surfshark.deals/jamnatjam, where you can help yourself to 83% off plus 3 months for free when you use the code JAMNATJAM on checkout. That's surfshark.deals/jamnatjam and use promo code JAMNATJAM for 83% off and 3 months for free. Number 10, Hulk Hogan versus The Ultimate Warrior, WrestleMania 6, aka the first time.
This match is shocking to be on here. Not because it's bad, it's just imagine actually telling someone The Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan, one of the 10 greatest WWE Championship matches of all time. They wouldn't believe you.
Time that Hogan is pinned clean since the start of Hulkamania 7 years earlier. The first time pinned clean in 7 goddamn years. I mean, that's one way to make a legend. This is probably the last great match of Hulkamania, despite Hogan limping on the company for 3 more years. The first face versus face main event in WrestleMania history, and possibly the greatest hype show that WWE have ever performed. The opening video package to Mania 6 is glorious. Hogan and Warrior cast as constellations, gods in their firmament, old versus new, Ares versus Mars, Titan for Titan. As such, the crowd are rabid for this match, and that helps because it's a basic match, but it's a good one. See, as Hogan proved 12 years later at Mania 18, a simple framework is best when the hype is strong enough. The booking is simple, they are evenly matched, pound for pound, move for move, spots repeating over and over with each man trading advantage. But the crowd adore every moment, and it's hard not to be swept up in all the wrestling glory as it thunders to its deafening conclusion, and Warrior pins Hogan clean as a sheet. Number 9, Kurt Angle versus Steve Austin, SummerSlam.
I've never watched this match, so I can't say anything. I've never actually watched this in full.
SummerSlam 2001, from a clean finish to a screwy DQ that somehow, someway, actually really works. Most of the time, WWE lazily pastes a DQ finish onto a match to avoid anyone having to lose, either to satisfy ego or just keep the feud's plate spinning endlessly. In this case, though, the DQ is part of a perfectly told story, the rare dynamic of face Kurt Angle versus heel Steve Austin. Duking it for Austin's WWE title is held since WrestleMania, and as you might expect, Angle plus Austin plus stakes equals great. For the first year and a half of his WWE career, the company booked Angle as being inferior to the big stars at the top of the card. Very talented, sure, but when compared to Taker or Rock or Austin, a Boy Scout in a Man Scout's world. Not so at SummerSlam 2001, when, powered by sheer America, Kurt Angle would not die. He takes everything Austin has, is bloodied and battered, takes multiple stunners, but Austin cannot pin him. And in his lunatic rage, just starts murdering referees just to get himself disqualified because all other options aren't working. It furthered Austin's descent into unhinged desperation and Angle's ascent to proper main event. It is a wonderful match. Number 8, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre.
This match was amazing. This match is fucking incredible. The crowd get a major props for this, but this match is fucking amazing.
Clash at the Castle 2022. I love this match to bits. Not only is it a dynamic bit of crowd work, booking a perfect storm of expectation that an invincible champion might actually be vincible, but it's also the main event of one of the funnest days of work I've had for this company when we hosted the Clash at the Castle watch party, and my god, the fever in that room for this match. Hometown boy Drew McIntyre walking into a stadium mere hundreds of miles from his hometown, a stadium geographically closer to France than Air Scotland, but it doesn't matter. It was a big show with a big point to prove, and that meant the title change was possible. For much of Roman's reign, he's felt unbeatable, and while honestly most of his title defenses have been really good, the great ones, the truly great ones, are the ones where there's a wind of change in the air. Austin Theory getting taken out by Tyson Fury, that closing sequence before Solo runs in, that whole stretch of the match is some of the most invested I've been watching a wrestling match in the last decade. Again, could have done without the sing-song. Number 7, Triple H versus Cactus Jack.
Yeah, that saying something just ruins the entire thing of the match. This match is chaos at its finest. It's hardcore violence in a WWF style at its finest.
Royal Rumble 2000. Remember when Triple H was this? A snooty Connecticut blue blood. Remember when he was this? Shawn Michaels' himbo friend? Or the yuck leader of a group of penis-indicating ne'er-do-wells? Point is, Triple H was a shade goofy going into 1999, a time when WWE was both dedicated to getting him over as a new main event heel and also dedicated to dicking him around with six-pack challenges or silly bollocks like having his first WWE title reign end after 22 days by losing it to Vince McMahon. Point is, by the time 2000 rolled around, they were starting to get serious about big trips. He needed an air quotes proper match on pay-per-view to cement him as a top star. Step right up Mick Foley, who's in the business of killing himself to make stars. See also The Rock, Edge, Randy Orton, you get the idea. The two men had a street fight in Madison Square Garden, and bloody hell though, it's gruesome, sadistic, vile, all the words WWE like to play over operatic music, but it's also fantastic both in instance and in legacy. Triple H walked into MSG as a man and emerged as a monster. Number 6, Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton versus Batista, WrestleMania sex number.
WrestleMania 30. This triple threat match is really good. I can't remember, the last time I watched it was a while ago, but yeah, it's a really good match. A match that, as much as WWE wants to convince you, they didn't want this match to happen. They wanted Randy Orton and Batista, but they couldn't give you that. Well, they wanted to give you that, but you wouldn't let them get that, because you wanted Daniel Bryan. Y'all want Daniel Bryan, and good for you, because let's be honest, in 2014, Randy Orton vs. Batista would have shut the bed. It would have sucked, so thank God Daniel Bryan was added to it.
Give us what we want and we'll be happy. I simply don't know how much clearer we can be about this. How is wrestling this hard? We wanted Daniel Bryan to be WWE Champion for a number of reasons. He's really good, historical dissatisfaction with being told who to like. It felt like the culmination of a story that for some reason they weren't interested in telling anymore. And sure, the capricious hand of fate robbed us of an actual title run for D. Bryan. But hey, at least we got this. A simple, joyful wrestling moment at the end of a really great match. As much as Bryan winning felt like the easy call and the right call. You can't trust WWE to be that simple. When Batista chucked Daniel Bryan out of the ring to try and steal his pinfall, that kind of instant fear and instant relief is a rush unique to this very silly sport. The rest of the match is great. Bryan fighting from underneath, lots of overbooking, but worth it to have all the authority strings tied off for the night. And that final 5 minutes, which contained some of the most joy a modern fan can have at the end of a WrestleMania, a joy that we got on night 1 this year, just not here night 2. Number 5, John Cena versus Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar.
This match is I love this match. This triple threat is my favorite triple threat I have ever seen. It is the best triple threat. Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew is amazing, but still to me this is the best triple threat in history.
Royal Rumble 2015. This one's silly. Looking back, 2015 was such a strange year for WWE. The Roman Reigns backlash reaching its zenith at the Rumble, Undertaker turning into a strange teleporting dick-kicking angry old man, Jon Stewart deciding who won the winner-take-all match at SummerSlam, League of Nations Sheamus being world champion. Odd year. But my god, the first WWE title match of 2015 was one of the best of all time. The main event of Mania a few months later, that was stellar too, but this probably pips it as not just the best WWE title match of 2015, but arguably the best WWE match of the year as a whole. Cena, Brock, and Rollins go hell for leather in a wonderfully stupid match full of Seth bouncing around like he's made of rubber, J&J Security getting killed repeatedly, and Philly hating on John Cena to a fabulous degree. As weird as it is to think about now, Brock's finish spammer shtick was crazy over back then, and that all-killer, no-filler mindset permeates this match, crowd-popping big spot after crowd-popping big spot. Number 4, John Cena versus AJ Styles, Royal Rumble 2017.
The best WWE Championship match to never once leave the ring.
Absolutely bold of John Cena to wait until the final 3 years of his full-time career to get really good at wrestling, but hey, we'll take it. From 2015 onwards, a switch flipped in the mind of Johnny Boy. He just decided to have the best match on almost every card he was on going forward, putting on a series of stormers with Kevin Owens, Rusev, Seth Rollins, but by far and away his best dance partner was the hairdo with the can-do, the Christian that leaves them blistering, the soccer-mominal AJ Styles. Cena and Styles have had a number of classics. Their match at SummerSlam was also bloody brilliant, but their best is their clash for AJ's WWE Championship at the 2017 Royal Rumble. Everything works here. Styles is still just about the best in the world, bringing the best out of Cena as a dominant force rather than his miscast underdog shtick. The work rate is crazy high for two men in their 40s. The fluidity of AJ's work is still a marvel, and they give the match all the time it needs to work to an absolute boiling point. It's hilarious that Cena would win here then drop the title 2 weeks later, but in isolation, this is his second best match. Number 3, The Rock versus Steve Austin, WrestleMania X7. Like Hulk Hogan versus The Ultimate Warrior,
this one is overbooked, ridiculous chaos, and it makes this one. And it's the main event of the best WrestleMania of all time.
but both guys can work. The best match of both men's career and the main event of the best WrestleMania makes sense that this was something special. Not only is it a hard-hitting barnstormer called by the best announced team in wrestling history, don't at me, but it's more than just a vanilla face versus face contest as well. The arc of this match is deceptively great. Austin's a heel from the moment the bell rings. It just takes us a while to realize it. Cheap-shotting Rock from the off, his insane drive to be champ already in place. The soul has already been sold. It's wonderful. What follows is a precursor to Austin and Angle. The rattled snake, perhaps in some ways rattled by his own year on the shelf, coming up against an immovable object and responding by blowing up everything he believed in and everyone who believed in him. The crowd are into every single second, every drop of blood, almost to a fault because the crowd really don't sell the heel turn when it happens, but this is still as blockbuster as wrestling can get. Speaking of crowds, number 2, John Cena versus CM Punk.
I was trying to figure out what the number 1 is. I forgot. My mind didn't think of this match. But yeah, this match is amazing for crowd. I think it's amazing in general, but I feel like with a different crowd, I don't think it would have been at the level we see. The crowd helps this so much.
Money in the Bank 2011. The match that got the man who got you back into wrestling, even after all the CM Punk stuff went sour, not only in 2011, not only in 2014, not only in 2022. I'm still giddy looking back on this match, still rewatch it every year or so because it's an event, a feature showcase of all the things I love about professional wrestling. Charismatic anti-heroes, intriguing stakes, a white-hot crowd that actually fully care and aren't just going through the main event motions of waiting for Cena/Hogan to power back up and win. The kind of crowd with a cause, a you cause who will pop like nobody's business if they get what they want. That kind of context and framework is the reason why this match is 5 stars. An island of childlike excitement after years of WWE being so very tepid. When was the last time you saw a crowd pop for every single move like this? Well, Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns, admittedly. While that match ended in a fuzzy combination of intended heartbreak and unintended disappointment, the final moments of Cena Punk are an explosion of yeah goodwill. I like to punch the air with joy when I watch my wrestling. What can I say? Which is why, number 1, The Rock versus Triple H, Backlash 2000. One of the
Another match I haven't watched fully, in all honesty.
loudest and longest single pops in wrestling history, when, after just enough time for the McMahon-Helmsley numbers game dominating The Rock for the match to become just on the cusp of boring, the glass shatters. Austin swaggers down to the ring, cracks Patterson, Briscoe, down goes Shane, down goes Vince. The Texas Rattlesnake returns, wrecks everyone, and leaves, allowing Rock to finally snatch back the WWE title in a match and moment that impossibly didn't happen at WrestleMania the month earlier. WWE is always at its best when it A, keeps things simple, and B, gives the people what they want. This story couldn't be simpler. The new Super Authority stacks the deck 5-on-1 on The Rock, spends the entire pay-per-view saying that Austin isn't here and he won't be here. The match goes just long enough and is filled with enough bullshit shenanigans for the fans to forget about Austin. Smash. A brilliant end to a brilliant show, and honestly, except maybe for Mick Foley on Raw, which would have made the list, but the match itself isn't that memorable, fight me, I can't think of a better received title switch in all of the time I've watched WWE. And that's our list. What's your favorite?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you thought of that list in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all for the next one.